you brought up a lot of different points there, and there's multiple different, avenues we could go with this conversation. But the first thing I want to do is actually back up, and I should have asked this at the beginning, but how did that fracture begin between younger generations and the church? Like, what was that time period, and what were the decisions that were made, or instances that led to this divide that we're now seeing between, organized religion in general and, the Generation Z and millennials?
Yeah, well, first of all, so I think right after the Second World War, you've got this big spike in people coming and belonging to a congregation, and the society as a norm, as a whole, saw loyalty to institutions as a strong communal value. And so you had people, and I think that comes out of, just the horrors of that Second World War, and what coming together as a nation felt like was a good thing. And then we built these beautiful institutions that did great things. But over time, the institution of the church got fat and happy, lazy, arrogant, and really judgy, right? And so there's these sins of the church that just sort of, So then in the 1950s, 60s, things start to erode. There's what they call that, the sexual revolution of the 1960s and 70s, right? And then you get a whole bunch of anti-institutional movement stuff. In the 1970s, you saw a whole bunch of movement because of the Vietnam War, a whole bunch of movement against government, against authority, period, right? Police, military, whatever. It just really starts to root in there. And then the church's response to those moments of injustice, you didn't hear a lot of what was the church saying here? And when I say that, what I mean is the church has the responsibility of humbly trying to discern what is God saying here, right? And that's a big task. It's a big task, and there have been so many times when the church really got that wrong, right? And so 60s, 70s, 80s was a really time of crazy town, right? Economic boom. You've got all kinds of things happening, and church lost its hold on certain things. Schools had release time, right? When I was in middle school and high school, when I was in middle school, or junior high, we called it, we were let out of elementary and junior high. We were let out on Wednesdays at like 2 o'clock because we all went to church for release time. The public schools dropped it, and then we all went. In high school, on Tuesday mornings, school started late because we all had high school youth group Tuesday morning. All of that disappears. Then you've got sports and other things where they not impede or encroach on church time, though that's true, but those teams, when it becomes such a demand on people's time, they start forming communities. Soccer moms becomes a thing, right? Hockey dads becomes a thing, and those dads and moms are sitting in bleachers, and they start to form whole communities there. And so the necessity of church becoming a secondary family is gone. And so it's been a long eroding, but there are some people now saying, well, maybe that's not so bad. Because maybe the church can finally speak with some humility and with authenticity about major issues. The question is anybody willing to hear it from the church?